iTrust Capital is a tax-advantaged crypto IRA platform.
Signing up is free
and only 1% transaction fee.
Wow. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. Crypto After Dark, May 18th, 2023. What a time to be alive, isn't it, folks? We got some interesting things to look at tonight. You know how we do it, 100% TA all the time. We could do fundamentals, but let's be realistic. There's a bazillion channels doing fundamentals. Why not do something a little different, right? Why not do what we do instead of what everyone else does? Why not try something a little different? Yeah, I think we can do better than that. So here forth, let's do better, right? Let's move on and do bigger and better things, and that starts tonight with you guys. Thank you all for being here. So we got a new setup. Yeah, we've got a little bit different layout for everybody. We got bigger charts here, more room for the charts. You got my list of assets on the right now that you can see that you didn't used to be able to see before. Your comments pop up right there on the screen now, which is pretty darn neat. I can move that around if I need to. We can adjust that later. That's not a big deal. It's actually pretty easy to move. But I thought it was pretty neat that the comments are a little bit different now and they swoop in like that. Pretty darn neat. I'll be able to see it no matter what. Nonetheless, let's get off into it. If you haven't done so, please, man, y'all go hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. The more likes we get, the better. We can help more people along the way. The more help we get people, the better off everyone is. I want everyone to get the most help possible. Again, just hit the like button, subscribe while you're there, notification bell so you don't miss anything. It costs nothing to be a part of it and help everybody out, right? Let's go say hey to everyone. I'm going to try to focus more on altcoins tonight. I don't typically talk about altcoins enough. I spend a lot of time talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? I probably don't spend enough time talking about altcoins. We're going to talk about some dominance charts, the dollar index in perpetuity of that, so we can kind of see the comparison going on. Might look at a little bit of traditional equities tonight, so you can kind of understand the pace of what's going on there as well, and then culminate it all together. So let's go say hey to everyone first. And see what everybody's got to say about the price of tea in China. What's up, CL? He was first. XRF, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Tex, what's up, my friend? Vincent Vachon, good to see you, bro. Dunamis, what's up, Big Dean? Big Dex, Educated Dummy. Jeremy, what's up? My cousin, Jeremy Dorian. What's up, Jeremy Dorian? Raclette, the cheese. What's up, brother? Good to see you. There we go. I got to get you put on there on the moderator list because you're a moderator now. That one's already been fixed. So who else we got? Soto, what's up, Soto? Gaffer, what's good, brother? Good to see you. Cycling Cotton, what's up, my guy? Chamda, thank you for the help getting all this set up. Changed the stream around a little bit. Now we're simulcasting YouTube and Twitter, which is pretty darn cool. If you go over to Twitter, you can see us on just on my profile there. We're live streaming on Twitter as well, so someone can click on that and pop on and see it, which is pretty darn neat. Dragon, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Della Roy, good to see you. Johnny Doe, what's up? Colo. Fritz Seeger, well, that's a dope name. Good to see you. So, Yeah, honestly, I think the Twitter comments will pop up on the live stream here. Now, I can't see that. I can only see, well, yeah, I can't see that part. All I can see is the comments popping up in other places. And that part's pretty easy to see. But I can't see, I mean, they're just popping up on the screen, but I can see them on the right. You guys can see them on the screen there as you're asking them. And we may move this around a little bit. No big deal. I just want to do something a little different. We can move the comments around and perhaps put the comments in a different spot, make them smaller, make them bigger, whatever. Anyway, first things first, let's talk about Bitcoin here and get it out of the way. Kind of the elephant in the room, right? We kind of talk about Bitcoin every time, but it's very important because as it's king of the hill, it's important to make sure we don't leave out things like Bitcoin. Because we all know one big move from it can kind of wipe out everything else. And if you don't have a drink to drink on everyone tonight, I've got my Dylan Mulvaney's locked and loaded over here. So where's your Dylan Mulvaney's? Yeah, so I drink what I want, and you guys can drink what you want. I don't support or not support anybody. I just drink what's on sale. And Bud Light was $7 cheaper for a case than Miller Lite. $7 buys lots of extra beers. Say whatever you got to say, right? Ha! Let's have a drink. Toast to Dylan. Yeah, I said it. All right. First things first, clear cut head and shoulders here. Not only do you have a clear cut head and shoulders, I'm going to move out this pattern that I've kind of drawn here so you can see it a little clearer. You have a well-defined shoulder, head, shoulder, clean neckline. You got a run up to the neckline, whether it was sloppy or perfect or not perfect, whatever. You got a run up to the neckline, and now you have a clear-cut fade from the neckline. Not great. This is not what we want to see. We do not want to see. We do not want to see things like this happen. This is what we call a bearish retest. When the price action falls through a zone, an important line like a support line right here, it clearly failed this support line. Not great. When you see something fail a support line like you see here, you want to see it break back over and close back above it up here in this region. That didn't happen. Not even close. It's only fallen under. And now that it's fallen under, it continues to slip under, retest the bottom of it. That's called a bearish retest. And now showing you that it wants to potentially make a lower low. That lower low would have to be below 26.8, it looks like. And we're flirting with it right now at 26.855. If and when this low comes in, I believe this green box down here becomes a clean target. Typically, when you have a head and shoulders pattern, you have two drops that make a capitulation up. So far, we've had the first one and a bearish retest, and we need that second one to come in to complete it. So I've kind of drawn that out already here with this bit of a pattern that I drew. However you want to put this up there, I don't really care. That's just something close. This is the beginning stages of almost halfway through now of a wick-off distribution pattern, all right? Or accumulation pattern, however you want to say it, doesn't matter. It's a wick-off pattern nonetheless. You're getting a drop, head and shoulders, pull down, back to the old big trend line here. See that? Big trend line up. This will be your third test, maybe a fourth test, somewhere around in here. You'll get these tests, and once you get those tests, we're cash money. All right, we need those tests to come through. Those tests will solidify what we think may happen moving in through June, especially if the government does what we think they'll do and be a little bit skittish on the economy and start cutting rates or flattening rates again. Now, if they do that and unemployment, you continue to see the numbers that you see flying around, things are going to get wild. All right, I expect very bullish continuations if that's the case. All right. One step at a time there. I still think this is going to play out here. There are some barriers to progress. And I'm going to erase this so you can see things a little bit clearer here. You can clearly see that head and shoulders. And I think that's no big fancy news right there to see that clear cut head and shoulders. So if I put some different things in here just for comparison's sake, here is the 821 EMA, the 50 moving average, and the 100 moving average. And you can see that it's trying its very best to hang on to this 100-day moving average. It's trying its best. Now, it may not be succeeding, but that doesn't mean it's not trying. It's bouncing and throwing wicks, then pulls back down, then throws another wick. It looks like it's going to get pinched down. And when it gets pinched down, there's no support over here, okay? It's just not there. It's all the way down here, all right? That's where our support level is, and that's why that green box is drawn where it's drawn. I think eventually we're going to get a move down toward that green box. I've got my limit set to buy here, all right? Most of my money will go in Bitcoin for this run. I want to get this last bit up. I think we can get back up here toward 30, 31, 32, maybe 35. If that's the case, that's a great move up, and I'm going to be tickled pink with it. And how many percent would that be? I have upper targets drawn here. If this box comes to fruition, and I think it will, these boxes are where I'll be taking profits. That's a solid 39 to 40%. I'll take that 10 out of 10 times. I'm not going to bitch and whine about it. Could some alts do more than that? I think they could, yeah. Matter of fact, I think they probably will. Is it worth the risk? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. You're going to see me be more conservative. I have to be more conservative. If I'm not more conservative, then everybody who's following along is going to be an ape as well. There's a fiduciary responsibility that goes along with doing what I do. You cannot go being an ape and expect anyone to take you seriously. All right? I'm just not going to do those kind of things. And for that reason, you're not going to see me be crazy. We have 18 likes. Y'all go hit like, man. It's free. There's 40 people watching right now. That means we could have 40 likes. They're free. They don't cost anything. And the more likes we get, the more YouTube pushes us up the chain. I'm not sure it'll work that way for Twitter, but that's not the point. All right. I'll break out the Bud Light Platinums. Bro, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. They're probably the same price as regular Bud Light now, before Bud Light went on sale. Get out the maple whiskey. Got that over here too, bro. He is the Trump of beer. That's pretty mean. Dragon said buy the dip, and I think he's talking about beer. Cheese said no Fosters. Soft. Bro, I was serious. I've got to find Fosters tomorrow. Hey, M. Carter, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Dang, there's a flashback. Let me give you an applause, bro. Hey, look, he said, good to see you doing your thing, bro. I'm not going nowhere. I've done told everyone I'm not going to stop doing this until after the next bull run. At the top of the next bull run, I'm going to do one live stream, and I'm going to tell everybody that's it, and I'm done. And I'm sticking a fork in it, and we're walking away. All right, that'll be it. We'll just be Discord only at that point. I'll have enough money by then to just not need to do YouTube anymore. It becomes a thing where you don't want to do this anymore. You guys can't see all the ridicule that comes along with doing this. I get DMs every day from people. I see people talking hardcore shit about me. Real quick, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I promise you that some stranger on the internet is not going to hurt my feelings. I've been called worse to my face many times. So whatever you call me on the internet is most likely just more of a reflection of you than it is of me. All right. I know I can be a certain type of way sometimes, and that's on me to improve. And it's got nothing to do with whether you guys talk bad or not. I know I have room for improvement, so I need to work on improving every day. Right. There's a lot that goes on that I never talk about, and it's super stressful, and it's super hard to maintain any kind of good reputation in the crypto space. If you say one thing that steps out of bounds, just one thing that someone doesn't like, oh boy, you get trashed, right? And I had some fumbles last bull market, and that's on me. And I'm trying to repair that now, right? Because this next bull run I realize is going to be even crazier. If you thought the last one was crazy, well, this one's really going to be wild. All this regulation talk, all this lawsuits talk, CBDC talk, that's a lot of shit going on, man. And it's going to get wild. So I want to have a reputation of being honest and being straightforward and not being a bullshitter, but at the same time, being someone that you can talk to without feeling like you're being attacked, right? I feel like sometimes I go on the offensive because I get defensive, and that's on me to improve, right? And I understand that. So all that being said, man, it's not worth the stress sometimes to come on here and make $1.15. because the guys didn't know, YouTube doesn't make much money. You need to have millions of followers to make money on YouTube. We have less than 10,000. Same thing with Twitter. And the Discord doesn't make the money you think. Most people are on free trials, in case you didn't know. So it's just really not worth the stress, man. It really isn't. I'll have enough money at the end of next bull market to not need to do anything for quite a while. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, I realize if I make that much, some of you guys are going to make way more than me, and I'm here for it. I really am. I'm here for it. I want to see you guys kick ass and take names. I super do. China Matt, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Lunatic Prophet, what's up, guy? Cham just said, what's up? I'm good to see you, brother. Mullet, brother, what's good? Win Mullet. Good to see you. I talked to him yesterday, man. Love me some Mullet, dude. Good dude. I'm getting the back of the swing of things. Good, M. I want you to message me over there, Malik. Message me a little bit. I need people like you. And without saying a whole bunch of stuff, I think you may know what I'm talking about. I think I need people like you because you have an untapped market that could be talked to, right? And I realize there's people there that could be helped, and a lot of people we could help make a lot of money with, right? So I want to get as big a piece of that as I can. Not even for me. I just want to help people get there, right? Again, reputation precedes you a lot of times, and I want that good rep. I'm going to jump into some alts now. I'm not going to do Ethereum. I'm just going to jump into some alts. I had a couple that were requested, and one of them that was requested was Cream. So I'm going to do my entire list of alts here that I've got, and I'm going to do the ones also other people asked for. My goodness, look at Cream. Absolutely on a rip, dude. Look at this thing. I'd love to tell you that you should run away from this, but man, it is overbought. It's scraping the ceiling here. But at the same time, can't really deny how well it's doing. I cannot deny how well it's doing. I'm going to move this chat real quick. I'm going to tell you what, it's annoying me. So I know it's probably annoying you guys. There we go. I'll put it over there. And that way it's just out of the way. And I have more room to chart because I can already see the shit getting in the way. So I'll fix that real fast. So yeah, Cream's still running here. No matter whether you put this trend line on the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. It's still kicking ass and taking names. It did throw some really gnarly wicks here, but has since got back up to that level. This is going to be an important spot here, right up through here, though, on the count of you haven't had a close above this level yet. Only closes have been under. So I really need to see it break this high. If it just comes up here and taps this trend line and doesn't break, that probably is a sign that it may not. So keep your eyes open here. But at the same time, this looks better than most charts. And I think that's worth talking about. FTM was the next one that was requested. And it's going to be 1850. All right. So I've been following this one. Yeah. So it's failed its uptrend. Not bueno. It's got a bit hammered down right here by sell pressure. And it's got multiple downtrends going. Here's another downtrend that's going. Just mega down in every direction. Not great. You really need to see this improve. And it hasn't done so yet. It's getting absolutely rickrolled by sell pressure. It had a really, really good run up coming off the new year, right? And now you've kind of started to pay for that on the back half. So I would love to see this improve. But for the moment right now, for me, it's going to be a no. And that's just based on risk reward. I think this one may have some more down here before up. It hasn't broken a significant trend yet. Since it hasn't broken a significant trend, I'm not going to take a huge risk on it. I don't love alts. I just don't love alts until it's actually a bull market. Right. And sure, they may do well. They may do well. What's up, not because Jeremy. Ezam says, hello, Keith. Hope you're doing well. Looking for alts today. XRP is looking great. Getting ready to do XRP in a moment. Good to see you, brother. Jeremy Monroe's not even drunk yet. And we got good whiskey to drink after this, too. I pre-ordered the Allsrog Alley this week. The Asus rig. I got you. All right, so let's move on to the next alt. How about BNB? All right. So, honestly, this looked like it was going to break this trend and ride up. But as you see, man, even though it's bouncing across this trend, you could argue that this thing is failing the trend on this end, depending on where you drew this line. It's super close. It's super close. This is either the perfect play on BNB or absolutely failing right in your face. I just don't know which one it is yet. But you don't have an 821 EMA cross. You haven't hit the 200 moving average. You did almost hit it right here, but it didn't. It just barely missed. This is in a tough, tough spot. It's got a ton of resistance. Man, I would love to say, yeah, here we go. But I think the risk is just too high for me so far. And because the risk is a little too high for me so far, I'm pressed to say yes. I'm going to say no until I see a little bit more improvement. And sure, it may be throwing a good morning star off of the support line here, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. I'm not sure that's going to play out. To me, this is a bit of a trap, and I don't want to get trapped. I don't want to get suckered into it. You could have gotten suckered in yesterday, and I did throw a couple bucks at a couple scalps. They haven't worked out. And that's why I didn't go very big on them. I just did small plays. I didn't want to get trapped in a setup to where I was stuck. All right, and it worked out pretty well for that reason. Let's go to AVAX. That's 22 minutes. All right, so it's absolutely worse off than FTM and BNB, refusing to break trend. Every single time it looks to break trend, it sells off harder and harder. Every time. It's just getting crushed. Had a really good run up, felt real nice, didn't it? And now you've paid for that on the back end. This is exactly what we were worried about. Yeah. We were worried about this thing punishing you on the back end. And that's exactly what's happening. I was hopeful this thing would run up here to this green box. It does not look like it wants to do it. As a matter of fact, it doesn't seem like it's going to do it at all. I would lean toward this thing failing all the way back down to 13 bucks or more. If this falls back anywhere down here in the $10 to $12 range, Keith is going to have to talk about being a buyer for himself because that is way down there. All right. I'm going to probably be taking a chance if it goes down there. Not going to lie. All right. It's worth the risk at that point. But we're not there yet. Please understand that that might not even happen. It really just depends on how things play out over the next 4 months. Really, four to 5 months. The next 4 to 5 months are pivotal. First 2 months coming up, that's going to be our, in my opinion, peak. And then the last 3 are going to be our pullback. And how far back are we going to go is the question, right? I'm hopeful for a 2015 style retrace. That would be best case scenario because we're going to get higher price targets. Same time, I realize that the 2020 run is more realistic. All right. So just keeping an eye on it. That's all. All right. Matic. We'll look at that now. And that is going to be 24 minutes. Same thing with AVAX as Matic. Absolutely smoked by sell pressure. No matter what I do, it's all downtrends all through here. Since this uptrend, this yellow line broke, it's done nothing but fail. Been out of Matic for a long time. Going to erase that. Nothing great here. Nothing great at all. Continues to get absolutely plastered by sell pressure. I need to see this do way better. Way better. Not just a little bit. I need to see you break trend and reclaim that 200 moving average that you have now lost. You just got a death cross. 50 through the 200 moving average. With a bit of a tits move here, which is price action moving back upwards toward the crossing. Yeah, not great. Not great. And while we see a little bit of buy pressure down here at this lower move, same thing happened up here and it gave you a nice little head fake and one more blah in your lap. We may get one more of those moves down here for Matic that had a very nice bear market. Okay, this Matic, Quant, Morpheus Network, and a few other ones had a far better bear market than others. All right, and now you're paying for it on the back end. Every single chart will retrace. We've talked about this, and this is exactly why I say that. You shouldn't play favorites because they don't play favorites back with you. All right, none of these assets will be your favorite. None of these assets will be favoriting you. They don't care about you. They just are. You caring about them and them not caring about you back, That's a toxic relationship, folks. And I could teach you all about toxic relationships. Okay. That's a whole wormhole right there that I do not want to go down tonight. But boy, could we tell some stories. All right. ADA, Cardano. You bounce off the 236 fib on the big weekly here, which just happened to be lined up with resistance. Oof. All right. Now you've got this choppy price action playing out. Sneaky here. It may have jumped over trend, but hasn't done anything yet. All right. And if I pull up some other just quick things here, stuck under the 100, stuck under the 8 EMA, stuck under the 21, stuck under the 50, got some improving to do, doesn't it? Right. Just to get back to the mean. And it hasn't done so yet. So how about the cloud? Bottom of the cloud. No, thank you. How about pivots? Oof. No, thank you. Yeah. Even though it's broken trend, I'm being more careful here. I'm being more cautious. I don't fully trust it. I think there may be some bullish changing happening, but just not yet. I think it's on the way. I think you're going to get some decent moves here, but it was worth talking about and showing you guys this stuff. And then we'll do XRP will be next. All right, let me write this down. Then we're going to do some dominance charts because they need to be talked about. All right, so of all of them, XRP looks the best amongst the top 10 at the moment. Why is that? Well, you finally broke trend here. People are going to blame this on the judge doing what he did or whatever she did, it, they, whatever they are. We kind of saw this move coming already. We've been talking about this for weeks. For weeks, been saying, hey, watch out. You got good buy zones here. Hey, watch out. You got good buy zones here. We were able to call this stopping just short of 60 cents and saying that 60 cents would be a hard ceiling in 2023. And guess what's happened? So far, so good. I think we do continue this move up slowly, like it's doing. This is actually best that it's not going up really fast. Unchecked moves up really fast, retrace just as fast or come back down. I would like to see another trend line test here at least. That'd be nice. And that would be up more toward 50 cents. So I would be looking to, for me, take profits up there near the trend line. And if it keeps going, great. I'd stay in with maybe take partial profits. And I'd stay in and let it ride up to the hard ceiling here. And then look to buy back in the September, October region once we have ridden on the top of this trend line for a while and then catch that bull run. But we haven't gotten there yet. In fact, we're still a good percent away from that trend line, a good 9 or 10% from that trend line. But that's not bad. So one step at a time. Let's see how it plays out. Don't get silly, right? Don't get silly. I'm not a hater of XRP like people think. I just don't get emotionally attached to any assets. There's not a single piece of news or a single person on earth that's ever going to convince me that the chart isn't first. Okay. The news is awesome. I get it. And the fundamentals are great. We know they have a real company, all that good stuff. No joke, right? I get it. That's great. And they're going to continue to do great. But the chart will dictate what the value of the asset is. All right. If the chart says it's going down, well, it's not worth buying. If the chart says it's going up, well, hey, let's get in it, right? I will be right by your side, XRP people. When this does break out into a bull market, I'll be right by your side yelling just as loud as everybody else. Don't get it twisted, okay? Same time, I'll be the first one to say I'm taking profits. All right? Do what you must, but know that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to keep it as real as possible when I do so, okay? Just all there is to it. No sense in taking any BS. Keep it real or don't do it at all. Hey, Raging Beagle, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Sir Sigma, what's up, Sir Sigma? My guy. Jag, what's up, Jag? Big Dex. Good to see you guys on here. China Matt says CFX. All right, we can look at CFX, bro. We can do a little CFX. But first, if you haven't done so, please take a moment, if you would, to check out our Discord. It's a whopping venti coffee per month, 8 whopping bucks. And right now, there's links in the Discord to get you half off. Furthermore, there are other links in our Discord through some of our other influencers that can get you 2 free months. Just show up. You'd be amazed what happens when you get around people who are smarter than you are, who can help you learn the better way to do things. We always like to think we know the best way. All right? It's human nature to think that you're right. It took me a long time to bite the bullet and realize I'm not right a lot. All right? And I got to fix what I'm doing because I'm the problem. That's not an easy thing to say. It's not an easy thing to learn. But when you get around like-minded individuals who all have the same goal to make as much money as possible and not get married to assets and to take profits when the time comes and to get in and get out when the time comes, and when it's time to hold them and when it's time to fold them, that's what we do. We do it as a team. All right? You're not going to find much other stuff like this on the internet where a person like me or other influencers jump into a chat all day long and will literally talk to you about almost anything. I would challenge you to show me the other influencers that do that. Okay, most of them just have time for themselves and they don't have time for you. And that's not going to be the way I am ever. So jump on over there. What's the worst that can happen? All right, you're not going to kill anybody. You're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to spend a ton of money. Be around like-minded individuals, man. And I'm telling you, I want you to get in there and learn before this bull market starts, because once this bull market starts, it's going to get crazy. And I want you to make as much money as possible. I really, really do. All right, let's look at CFX, then we'll do some dominance charts. All right. You mean the crypto CFX? Yeah, you mean the crypto. All right. Yeah, good little move here on CFX. I'm not sure it's broken enough barriers. Well, you know what? Kinda. Yeah, it kind of did there. It looks like it broke that one trend line right there. And since it's broken that one trend line, it's trying to have a go at keeping on going here. Got a nice little uptrend started. Bouncing on the top of the trend line. You know, I don't really hate this. Let's see. You've got some resistance, but this thing caught the 100. And it's trying to hang on. That looks like that wants to head back up toward 33 cents. If we break and hold, what is that? 31. I think you got this, Matt. 31 and a 31.2. If you break and hold 31.2, you can take a run at 33. Break 33, you could potentially sweep these highs back at 43, and that's another 25, 30% up. That's a good lick. So keep an eye on CFX. This looks, in accordance with what other ones are doing. This one looks a little better than what you're going to see, from the likes of the ones I just went over, right? This one looks better than those. All the top 10s. It's pretty good. XLM. Trying to write these down as I do them. All right. XLM stuck under the 200, pinned down by a ton of sell pressure, 8 EMA, 200 moving average, 21 EMA. All of it's pinning it down. Absolutely no go for me on XLM. Off to some dominance charts. Total 3 is what we're going to look at first, which was the thumbnail. Why was it the thumbnail? Well, I'll explain it to you. So, been watching this very closely. If we step back for a moment and we look at the weekly chart, we can see that way back here, we started this downtrend, and we can draw a trend line from that, pull it like so. You can see that, man, we're getting hammered by sell pressure. But it appears as though we may be having a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, a falling wedge breaking out. I'm not positive on this yet. It just depends on how you draw it. If you draw it too tight, it doesn't look right. So I went down on the 4-hour when I was watching this because I was very intrigued by it. Just hasn't done it yet. It's very, very close to breaking out. If this doesn't break out, you have high time frame support down here at 337 billion, but the problem is we're at 350 billion right now. That's another $13 billion worth of altcoins. Poof, evaporating money-wise. That's a ton of money. I don't want to see that ton of money go away, but I'm also realistic enough to know that this thing hasn't broken out of its wedge yet. Once it does break out of its wedge, I'm thoughtful enough to realize that this thing could just keep on running and break this trend line, which it has not done yet. And I can try to fine tune this. It depends on how you draw this. If I draw this really, really tight, You could argue that it looks all right like that, and it's a big falling wedge on the top of a trend line there, which is super bullish, right? That's a very, very bullish pattern. A falling wedge on the top of a trend break, that's about as bullish as it gets. However, hasn't broken yet. And honestly, it's kind of leading me down the road of I'm going to come back and fade back to that trend line right there. It's going to fade back to this trend line, not trend line, support line, back down here to this yellow box, give us a good buy chance here, and then we'll see if it can trickle out of this wedge from there. Just hasn't gotten there quite yet. I was really hopeful that it would, but I was watching this super close the last couple of days. It was super, super close to cracking, and then it fell down. Bitcoin pulled everything down, went down, like 3 or 4% yesterday at one time. And some of the alts just never recovered, which is to be expected, honestly. Big Dex, what's up, brother? He said beers. All right. Toast to Dylan. By the way, a lot of people hate Dylan Mulvaney, and I'm not a fan either. But shout out to old dude for marketing the hell out of himself and making something of himself in a world where it's really hard to do so. And I'm not a fan. I'm just saying. All right. I'm never going to get mad at anybody doing the best they can. What's up, Josh? He says, is Discord half off for current users? If you're a current user and you switch to the half off, it won't work like you think. It will eventually cancel you out. But if you cancel and redo, it will work temporarily. But the thing is that price will eventually revert. The half off is kind of for new people, right? I'm just trying to get new people to come in and learn. It's tough to do. So you wouldn't believe how hard it is just to get new people to come in and try, which is why most of the Discord is trial members, right? But it's better than none, I'd rather have some people in there than no people in there. Kaizen, what's up, brother? Good news. It's the ICP. Yes, sir. We can do ICP right next. How about that? Jay Stan, what's up? Good to see you. We got to start up the daily or weekly options chat. Yeah, Josh. So we have an equities chat already where Sir Sigma and some other guys, Thor's Hammer, talk about that all the time. China Matt, he's in there as well. Et cetera, et cetera. Super cool dudes in there talking it up. I don't mess around with options too much because I'm a crypto guy, but those guys are in it. All right. And I've spoken to them personally. They're awesome dudes. So everyone's got their own niche. You know, Flame and Vic Vellante and Thor Hammer will also be in the Forex chat, chatting it up in the Forex trades. We got some new guys who've come in there and started talking about Forex as well, which is awesome. I like Forex myself too. I haven't done it lately. I put my money over there on the Forex platform and then I moved it back after I took a couple trades. I tried to get a bot to work and it didn't quite work for me right. And I got to fiddle with that some more. I'm not going to have time to do it tomorrow, but I want to fiddle around with the bots some more and see if I can get that Forex bot to work. It just didn't work right. Like I tried it, it just didn't work. I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't do the VPN right or the VPS. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But either way, I want to get that working. A lot of people have asked about that. You know, we've got multiple different things like that in the Discord already. So Josh says, I gotta do the yearly pay for the sit down. Oh yeah. So if you do the yearly, the consult comes with it. That's just part of it. And as soon as you do it, it'll tell me on the back end that you did it. And I'll send you you'll have the link to the chat where the calendar is. Only the yearly people can see that. And then you can pick a time. All right. ICP. All right. And that's going to be 39.30. All right. So broke the trend line down. No bueno. Tested the bottom of the trend line. No bueno. I need to see this get way better real fast. If it doesn't, it's going to get ugly. That's a lot of sell pressure on the top here. Man, there are, do what you would like, right? But there are way better looking ones than this one. I'm definitely not going to buy this one. I'm definitely going to look elsewhere. How about that? How about that? All right, CRV 40. All right, so this thing has slipped under the 236, slipped under the 382 now. which was right around 82, almost 83 cents, continues to slip. The next support zone down here is all the way back at 72 cents. Oh man, I did not think it would get back down there because this thing made an insane run up here. Now, a lot of people blame that on manipulation, but it was just DeFi being DeFi, and I don't think people realize that this is just part of it. You can borrow and then sell. That's perfectly okay. That's the reason people do it. But either way, it's continued to fade back and forth here. And I think a likely support catch around 72 cents is nice. If it doesn't hold that, 62 cents. Either way, I see CRV, in my opinion, coming on down more. It's just got a ton of sell pressure, man. Can't hold a level for nothing. It just keeps rolling over and failing back and over and over again. Right. All right, Algorand. Again, I already got out of this one, so I'm going to remove these. I think I'll put them on the Binance chart just so I can chart what I did. Getting hammered with sell pressure. Same story, right? It just can't get right. I talked to people the other day who had never seen the movie Life. And I believe a couple of them were our moderators. And I'm like, you've never seen the movie Life? I think it was Jeremy Monroe. And I was like, legitimately heart hurt a little bit. I'm like, you've never seen the movie Life? You don't know who Can't Get Right is? Like, damn, dude. But you know, those people in Missouri. Tom Pazdurka, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Paulo, what's up, Paulo? Oh, it's all good, Paulo. Yeah, we switched it around a little bit. Yeah, I did FTM already, brother. Pretty bearish looking to me. Pretty bearish looking to me. What do I think about GMX? Well, let's look and see, shall we? GMX. Yeah, Algorand, still bad. I need to see some improvement very rapidly. Otherwise, it's heading south for the winter. GMX. All right. And I mean, we may get a good bit of relief here if, we get some good government assistance by them doing stupidity. I'm here for it, right? I want to make all the gains possible. And if the government is going to assist us in that by flattening or cutting rates, you're going to see money flow into risk assets. And that's all there is to it. I think eventually people ask me about the court case a lot. And what do I think? I mean, honestly, I think they'll probably settle out of court. I don't think there'll be a decision. I think it's bad for everyone if there's a decision. It's bad for the SEC if they have a decision that says, XRP wins, because then that sets precedent for all other cryptos to use that as case law. I think it's bad for all securities if the SEC wins, because they will come after every single one by one, if they win, because they have precedent. All right. And then their words will be considered case law. So it's lose-lose. You can look at it and say, oh, Ripple won the lawsuit. That means they're not a security. No, it doesn't. They could still be a security. It just means that they didn't sell the securities as securities. They could still be one. They just didn't sell it as one, right? So it's lose-lose, man. Settle out of court and walk away, right? But the thing is, Ripple's already 200 million in the hole on defense fees. So they've already decided to put their foot down in the mud, right? And we're not moving. And I get it, but that 200 million, you could just pay the fine and walked away, right? But I get they're trying to be crusaders. That's great and all. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So I'll wait for it to finish, and I do think that eventually there'll be a good outcome. That's just how I see it. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. GMX failed trend line here, rolling over, playing a bit dead, refusing to break north. Every time it looks like it's going to go, simply fails another level. You're back to support here. There is some support around 58 cents here, and it did bounce off of that back up to 62. However, it's having a really hard time maintaining this level. As you see, a lot of bearish sell pressure. Every time that there's a green candle, it just reverses it with a bearish engulfing right back on the backside. Not great. All right, so want to see that improve. It's going to be a no for me until it cracks trend on GMX, and then I would change my tone as soon as I saw it break trend. It just hasn't done it yet. All right. Could I do render? Yeah, render, man. Render's been a gangster. KDA, Nexa. And what else? Dion and Velo. And then Velo over here. And then Cocos. Yeah, it's been a killer lately too, hasn't it? You caught that, Fritz. Better be a live dog than a dead lion. You damn right. Anyone see the new Bud Light ad? Indeed we did, Rug. Represent, bro. I got my Mulvaney's locked and loaded over here. I hope you're having one with me, sir. Man sent me a hilarious gift today. He texted me a hilarious meme. And I was like, well done, sir. Well done. My favorite hockey equipment salesman. What's up, Danny Deep Pockets? Good to see you, brother. You guys, don't forget, for all the subscribers in the Discord, we have Zoom after this, and you can come hang out and ask me anything you want to ask me, and we're going to go through every single thing anybody wants for hours and hours. All right, Render. Hell of a performer lately. Every single time it fades, captures back any momentum it loses. I still like 278. Oh, I've got to write this down. I'm sorry. 46.30. I still like 278, 316, and 380. All right, at least two of these three are going to get hit here. This thing has been hyper technical, and it continues to play out very, very well. Fib zones are being respected very well. It's blown through Sniper's Alley a couple times now and then retested. I'd like to see it break these highs at 239. It closed one candle at 238. It was so close. Didn't quite get it. Now it's thrown a red candle. It may take a little bit more time to get up here, but I like these upper levels to eventually get clipped. It's close, and it will get there eventually, in my opinion. KDA. Kadena. All right. That's 47.30. All right. Broken downtrend. No bueno. Ton of sell pressure. No bueno. This is going to be a no bueno all the way around for me until I see some massive improvement here. Big no for me on Kadena until then. What's amazing about this is I've seen multiple people tell me how that their favorite funds are investing in Kadena because of this. Look at the chart, bro. You're losing money every single day. But we're putting more in, and it's losing money when you're putting it in. It's immediately losing value as soon as you put it in. So I ask you, is it still best to continue putting money in something that's depreciating constantly? Probably not. Perhaps you should come up with a plan to buy stable coins and wait for that bottom to come in and then buy, maybe once or twice, maybe even 3 times, but not 30 times and just 28 of them are losers. That's a terrible idea. Nexa, 48.30. Absolutely horrible looking, getting smoked out by sell pressure. I see nothing good here until we break. It is back at support. I will say that's the only good thing I see. It is back at some support here, but so much work to do. So much work to do. It's got a ton of room to get back over and cross and go once that actually happens. It has not happened yet. Going to be a no from me on this one until then. All right, Dion. All right. Was doing super good. Look at that. Man, that thing was killing it. That trend has since failed. And now that it's failed, you're getting downward sell pressure, hardcore downward sell pressure. And as long as this sell pressure continues to come in, it's going to be a no from me. This thing's super overperformed. It isn't quite oversold just yet. And support is way down here at like 0009 or 001. Yeah, 001 is back where support is. That thing may fall a long way before it recovers. Either way, I wouldn't buy this until this thing crossed back over this trend line. And once it did do that, well, then we could talk about Turkey. But, yeah, not until then. Velo. Yeah, you can clearly see that this one's going to be a no. A lot of failed uptrends over and over again, continues to fail them. And you've got a ton of sell pressure here. You see that? Just a big no for me until that improves. Once we break trend, and yes, this thing is scraping the floor on the RSI. Weekly did the same thing. This is very low volume, and because it's low volume, the indicators are pretty odd looking. Either way, nothing good here for this one. I need to see vast quantities of improvements, and once I see vast quantities of improvements, I would change my tone, but not until then. It just isn't good enough, in my humble opinion. Cocos. All right. We'll go to daily here. And yeah, man, this thing had a nice comeback, similar to what Render did. All right, you can clearly see this trend line that it was riding has failed it, and now it's come back and retested the bottom of it. This is the classic gotcha moment. This thing rolls back over and does another big down here, following along a trend line here. All right, watch and see what happens. But even though this did really, really well recently, I need to see it break some more levels and get up here and close. Once it does, well, that opens up a whole nother support level through here. And once you're maintaining that support level, you're good to go. Once you maintain that support level, you're going to see more movement up. Fail that support level, and like I said, you'll see it roll over and just keep going down and down, more and more and more, until you get a bit of a falling wedge. While it feels good right now, just be very careful, okay? I don't like it hitting that support line, hitting that bottom of that resistance line like that. That being said, look at those moving averages. Pretty good shape, honestly, aren't they? It's above every single one of them. If it can maintain here and keep going, I'm all for it. If you're going to buy this, just be smart and know that if this stuff starts to roll over and fail, you got to bail. But right now, I can't say no at the moment. Just be careful. It's got an odd pattern to it, and I don't want to see anybody get smoked out. Quinny Gin, Pulse Chain. What's the ticker for that? LTC. Tell me what the ticker is for Pulse Chain, and I'll look her up. All right. So LTC had a hell of a run coming off the bottom of that trend line there. 100% should have caught this, and I didn't. I'm still kicking myself for it. It threw this really ugly candle yesterday, this red candle here, and gave the impression that she was going to stop. And another big bullish engulfing candle is right behind it right now, like it never happened, which is wild. Nice run for LTC. It has crossed over every moving average, every EMA, and as long as it can maintain this level, we could push back up toward 100 fairly soon. Let it breathe a little bit here. I think 100 is going to be a contentious level. Once we get there, I'll check in a lot more because I'm curious if this thing's going to continue making this wedge and then roll over and quit, on the back side over here once it runs out of this wedge. It's going to roll over and quit over here. We'll find out, right? Litecoin's got a pretty high market cap, and it's done very well. Halving for them is in the beginning of June. And usually it taps out before the beginning of June, before halving. What's up, CL? Good to see you again. Yeah, the 9th, I think. June 9th or June 8th, something like that. Need to use Dex Screener. WPLS. Okay. WPLS. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. Gotcha. All right. We're going to have to go down the low time frames here because we don't have much data. Let's see if we do have more data somewhere else. It's got 99 million liquidity here, but that's just PLSX and a swap. 3.4, 3.3. We've got a WETH pair here. Well, whatever. It's all right. Let's just use the hourly chart because that's what we got here. I'd have to dig around and find the oldest chart. I'm not certain on this uptrend here. I do see a bit of a bull flag. All right, like that. Bit of a bull flag here. Let's see which way this thing breaks out, because if it breaks out, there's a solid pop. Oh, kind of looks like it's doing it now. Hey. Kind of looks like it's happening now. Yeah, okay. So it does look like we have a 1 hour breakout. The next high to capture would be 0002, break and hold 0002. If it can break and hold 0002, you're going to get a run up toward 03. And that's a solid 60% gain if that happens. So keep your eyes open for here. This may run more. Watch and be mindful of a fake out and rollover, something like this, right? And then roll back over here to support, which is down here. And this is an hourly chart. Again, this is all the data I have. So when you have slow data or small data like this, you know, do the best you can with it. And you have to watch this more because it's a low time frame. You can't see how bad the volume is. Constantly watching it is the only way you can ensure that you get in and get out fast enough, because you're in a low time frame. You have to watch once every time that time frame. So if it's an hour, you need to watch every hour. If it's every 4 hours, you need to watch every 4 hours, right? Daily chart, well, just look once a day. That's why I tell everyone to stick to dailies. You know, you can stick to daily charts and not watch near as much, which I think is advantageous for everyone to not have to watch a lot. Yeah, June or July. Yeah, I think still the top Colo. I think. I'm not positive. I can't be 100%, but I'm just trying to be as close as I can. FIDA, Quigs, what's up, bro? FIDA, is that on deck screen or is that a regular one? Looks like a regular one. Yep, Bonafide. Yeah, getting crushed with sell pressure, man. A lot of sell pressure and a lot of downward, a lot of big wicks that push downward immediately afterwards. I don't like that. That indicates super low volume, and I probably don't want to mess with this one until the bull market. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Excuse me, gosh. Selling may and go away, they say. I'm hoping for get some yummy dips. Well, it depends. That's more for equities. Selling may go away is more for equities. That's not always been the case. And, you know, honestly, it's more of a 50-50 proposition for crypto. You know, it depends on whether it's a bull market or a bear market. And it depends on how far along in the cycle you are for that May question mark. You know, that was more of an equity saying, because it was a time between we sold off for tax purposes, and then we're waiting to buy to get the best price, because summers are usually bigger. So they usually look to buy right before the summer starts, because usually inflation really gets going in the summer. And when that happens, you know, you have more money flow in, more product gets sold, more returns on investments, more profits, P&L looks better, the boards are happy, the shareholders are happy, blah, blah, blah. In crypto, none of that matters. There is none of that. It's just a token, right? OP. Again, crushed with sell pressure. It looks so bad that I have to say no. Under the it's under the 200 and stuff. I got to see that recapture the 200 first. It's too buried with sell pressure. It looks like it's getting absolutely smoked out, and it looks like it's going to roll over more back down to support, maybe 140 flat, or if it doesn't hold that, down to 120 flat. Yikes! It's 170 right now, so that's another 20+% down, which seems a bit out of reach, and I'll admit that seems a bit out of reach. So let's be careful with that, right? So that's been almost an hour. That went by fast, man. I only had one beer. What is that? One Dylan Mulvaney. That's whatever. Nonetheless, I want to thank every single person for watching. Coming on here and hanging out is awesome, dude. You guys are my family. I want you guys to be as positive as possible from here forward, all right? And I don't mean that as in the charts. I mean just be positive in general. Help someone out. Smile a little bit. Enjoy your time while you have it, all right? Today was an emotional day for me, dude. I had that class that we did in the Discord for free, but right before that, dude, I had a bunch of stuff come up. And you just start to think about things, you know, as you get my age. You know what I mean? You just got to start enjoying things and spreading some positivity sometimes. If the charts are negative, we can say that, but we can say it in a nice way. And hey, man, it's a wild world, okay? Let's get the good messages out there, right? Let's be better than the people who are not that way. All right, let's not fall for the trap of being assholes all the time. Sometimes it's a time to be an asshole, I would agree. Yeah, but for the most part, that's not needed. It really isn't. So, that being said, every single person on here that watched, I love every one of you guys and gals. Thank you for being here. You're awesome, and I can't do this without y'all. I'll leave y'all with two things. Make the best of your todays the worst of your tomorrows. That was Jay-Z. And last but not least, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Like the Notorious B.I.G. said, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Be good. Sky's the limit. Peace.